Hey everybody, Mark Johnson here, founder and creative director of Able Ape Studios, back again with another vlog. Today's vlog is number 6, and right off the top, I hope everyone's off to a positive and productive week.
And also coronavirus free.
I had to get that in there because this is getting out of hand. It's getting crazy out there. Whether you believe it or you don't believe it, you think it's hyped up or whatnot. Again, hope you're in good health. So yeah, I'm back again for another vlog, dropping this off. Past week was pretty monumental. My dad had another birthday. Amen for that. He turned 81, I believe. I don't know. I don't necessarily know how he really feels about that. He's not necessarily the big talker, but I know last year we kind of did kind of a bigger hurrah, hip 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 hurrah for him, in the sense that it was 80. He got another year in, so now he's 81, and I believe last year when we talked to him about it and wanted to kind of know what the wisdom of someone who's been able to live that long, we kind of asked him what truth, what bit of wisdom he could provide us with, and he shared with us this idea of just I believe what he said, if I remember correctly, was not to take life so hard, not to take life so seriously. Have a little bit of a sense of humor, I'm assuming, and keep your health up. I think those are the two things that he said. I could be wrong, it's been a year, but if I remember correctly, that's what I think he was saying. So it was like, it was kind of a good answer, kind of a, whatever. I mean, for my nieces and nephews who were in attendance at that day, I don't know if they could understand what he was getting at, but, for someone like my sister and myself who were there, I guess we kind of got a little bit out of that. I guess we were hoping for more, but again, that's what it was. Outside of that, for myself, I know I had a previous vlog, I had talked about some of the projects that I had in the pipeline. I think I passed on one of those, which was a Video Maker article, so that's been completed. So there were 2 other projects I had talked about. One was a business card design, and then the other one was a core values posters design. So the business card, that was for an interesting situation. So it was for a lady named Bonnie. We became friends just kind of oddly enough, just kind of through the love of art. We both share the same love of art. She can, she's a little, well, I won't say little, but she's a lot older. She could be my mom, but being that we kind of had share this art, or this love, and being able to do art, we kind of built this friendship. She's helped me out tremendously with some other things, and just being able to conversate with someone who knows the struggle of art. So I did the business card design for her, so that was fun. Paid. The other one was for my podiatrist's office. They were looking to do a core value series of posters, and I worked on that. I felt that I kind of didn't really get enough information to go full-fledged right away, so I kind of let that sit and marinate, and I kind of did my research like I would regularly do, just kind of see what was out there. And at a certain point I kind of felt like maybe I sit on it too long, and so they emailed me and saying, oh, can we see some of the stuff? And I was like, okay, well, where I was at was more or less pencil sketches, and that I was hoping to be able to meet with them again and kind of derive some more information on what they were really looking for. So being that was the fire put underneath me, I kind of spent that day kind of working, put everything else aside to kind of spend that day working on their poster series. And so by the next day I was able to turn them in, give them something to see. Hopefully, again, it's kind of up in the air. Like I said, I didn't really feel like I got the answers to the questions I was hoping for to kind of help me, direct me in what they would like. I saw one example that they had shown me through a Facebook page. So again, I don't necessarily know what on that Facebook page they were definitely drawn to. So I went with what I felt would be an interesting look, interesting concept. Because again, the idea of core values They made their own core values up. So if you understand that, the core values is what their business does well, and what it's like
their foundation, their rock, their cornerstone
of traits that decide how they interact with people on a day-to-day basis. That's kind of what I would say. And so I haven't heard back from them, so I don't necessarily know if they liked it, didn't like it, but I have that doctor's appointment coming up at the end of the month. So if they hit me up with an email, that'd be great. If not, then I will see them when I see them. Outside of that, today I had another doctor's office. We're in more or less like a doctor's closing. This doctor's retiring, so he passed me on my case to another doctor, which I met last week, and just kind of been able to make the transition smooth, said my goodbyes to the office staff, and was out. But while I was there, I ran into a friend that what we share in common is the spinal cord injury. You know, his was in a diving accident, mine was in a car accident, and we were, you know, I hadn't seen him for a while. I think the last time I talked to him was just on the phone, and it's always nice to talk with him, you know, because when I had my accident, he had already been in a chair for many years. He's from Chico, born and raised in Chico. I think he still has family and friends here in Chico, and you know, we kind of just always catch up. You know, start from basics and then just kind of build up from there, and ended up talking movies and comic books and things like that. And I think the thing that I always appreciate about him is the fact that he knows the struggle. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can relate to the struggle in the way that they know the ins and the outs. A lot of people can relate to me in the sense that maybe they've been in a wheelchair, but then, you know, they had a broken leg, but now they don't have a broken leg anymore, and they knew how that struggle was for the time they had to be in the wheelchair. But he knows it. He knows it in and out, and you know, he talks about just kind of the regular struggles of dealing with that. And you know, I think we always talk about, you know, relationship-wise. I believe he still has a girlfriend. I think the time I had talked with him, I was seeing somebody at that time, and so he asked me if I was still seeing her, and I kind of had to think about it. So yeah, so in that way, it's always been a good relationship with me and him. You know, he's a little more reclusive. You know, he does drive his own van, so that's always something that helps him get out and go and do things. But he's had many accidents in his life. You know, broke his hip, broke his leg. So I've always looked up in that sense, kind of derived some of the things that he had talked about that he does in his life to kind of help make his life better. But like I said, he's kind of a little more reclusive, doesn't really get out too much. And he always, you know, has bouts with depression and stuff like that, you know, based on what he's told me. And but as we were talking, he's like, you just gotta be present, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, you just gotta be present, you know what I'm saying? You can't really dwell too long on the things that maybe get you down, which, like I said, was weird, because like I said, he's kind of had these situations with depression, just kind of not, you know, socializing too much. And so I take everything with a little bit of grain of salt, understand who he is and, you know, how he relates to the world. But he was just saying that it's a beat, you know, it's one of those things that you can't fully understand unless you're in the situation long term, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, it's always good talking with him. We chit-chatted as I was waiting for the bus after he got out of his doctor's appointment, and it gave me a lot to think about for the rest of the day and up until now, you know, because I didn't know if I was going to talk about it or, you know, share anything that we had talked about specifically. But I, for myself, have been kind of just been thinking about it, you know, from it, in a sense, started from that article, or not that article, but the story that I wrote that got a lot of comments and feedback from it on Facebook. And I'm still processing that. You know, I haven't written anything to kind of help me get through it or kind of work through it and process it, but I maybe will. You know, I quite definitely will at some point. But I want to kind of, you know, let it marinate a little bit more. You know, kind of see if I was coming from a position of really true understanding, or if I was just talking out my ass, or if I was just talking from, you know, a beaten, defeated kind of way, or maybe just really talking some real talk, in the sense that, what I'm feeling is really what I'm feeling, and that I should use that for motivation to continue on. Who knows? But like I said, it was great to being able to talk with him today and kind of, share those things, or share some things together. That's kind of where I'm at. Hope again everyone's off to a positive, productive week, and like we always do this time, have a blessed day. See you on the flip side. Let's go.